Reverse 1999 released the limited character Paper Heron during version 3.4 Spring Unending to celebrate the Lunar New Year. And we're starting off with a pop quiz about her. So what is Paper Heron's Udimo type?
I'll give you a hint. It's a bird.
A heron, because it's in her name, right?
Congratulations, you got debated. Anyone else?
A crane, because cranes are a symbol of longevity in Chinese mythology.
You know what? That makes so much sense, but you're still wrong.
What if I told you it's one of the most vicious, bloodthirsty, dangerous birds known to all of mankind? The goose. Paper Heron Canadian confirmed.
But all jokes aside, Paper Heron's Udimo is in fact a goose.
If you don't already know, a Udimo is a small animal, item, or chibi-like creature that symbolizes the character's personality or traits. Kinda like a little spirit version of themselves. But back to Paper Heron's goose, I cannot, for the life of me, wrap my brain around this. Maybe it's because the goose is a common symbol of lifelong commitment in marriages used in Chinese literature. An example would be Yuen's poem called The Tune of the Wild Geese Tune, depicting a tragic love story between a pair of wild geese. But how does this relate to Paper Heron?
Last time I checked, she ain't married, let alone in love.
She's too traumatized for that. Who is she supposed to fall in love with? Chang? My man's too busy restoring his family name's honor. The boy don't got time for Heron.
To tell you the truth, I set the fire myself.
Although, his Udimo is our Heron. And what about Reed? I just remember that JJK scene in Season 3, Episode 4, I think that's right, where they referenced the proverb called the goose holding a reed. Completely unrelated, but just a thought. Maybe it's fate. In all seriousness, how does a goose relate to Paper Heron's character? In Chinese literature and artworks, geese are often depicted in flocks, and it is suggested that a lone goose is a symbol of loss, of a partner or a community, representing the lonely traveler or someone separated from their family.
And who does that sound like?
My poor girl, Paper Heron. She lost her school, her friends, and Finch, her mentor. She is all alone with nothing but a mule as her travel companion, taking her wherever it wants to wander.
Are we there yet? No, we are not. Are we there yet? No!
Okay, sure. But what about her longevity?
It's one of, if not her most defining feature. How does a goose represent that? To the Daoist monks, the goose is considered a symbol of longevity. But what even are Daoists and Daoism? Daoism, also referred to as Taoism, is a Chinese philosophy and religious tradition that practices self-cultivation and emphasizes living in harmony with the natural flow of life, known as the Dao, Tao, or Wei. Sounds familiar, right?
But anyways,
Daoist.
In ancient China, a Daoist monk developed this practice called the Da-Yan qigong, or the wild goose qigong. This practice was passed down to one person for each generation and was withheld from the general public until 1978, when the 27th lineage holder, Grandmaster Yang Meijun, decided to teach this ancient qigong practice with the world. There are very limited and credible sources about this topic, so we're just going to have to take Master Yang's word for it. A quick side note, qigong is a Chinese system of exercises or forms to gather and stimulate the flow of energy, or qi, within the body, mind, and spirit, supposedly useful for improving health and well-being, spirituality, and martial arts training. The Daoists who followed the ways of nature were inspired by the geese that lived nearby. Most believe that the bar-headed geese were the inspiration behind this practice, since they lived the longest and flew the highest among any other geese. These geese also had the endurance and strength to fly during their long migration over the Himalayas with little to no breaks. Unlike me, who needs a break after going up and down the stairs.
Julian!
Seeing the beauty and harmony of freely flowing qi energy through these geese's light, fluid, and effortless flight, they created qigong exercises that imitated their movements. Thus, geese became their symbol of longevity.
But how does this relate to Paper Heron's character?
Do I even need to answer that? Paper Heron has achieved longevity by being sealed for 100 years. The goose became the symbol of longevity. Paper Heron is a Daoist. The monks are also Daoist. Paper Heron's method of longevity through inner alchemy and the Wild Goose qigong both tackle the mastery of moving qi to improve physical and mental health.
So let's summarize our point.
Just like the lone goose symbolism of loss in Chinese literature, Paper Heron is forced to roam in solitude following the loss of the White Horse School, the home she once belonged to. The principle behind the Wild Goose qigong to improve health, longevity, and spiritual awareness are reflected in Paper Heron's own teaching in-game.
All these reasons are why I think the devs chose a goose as Paper Heron's Udimo.
Let's end the video with a fun fact. You see this little knob here on the Udimo's head? That's a distinguishable feature of the Chinese goose, or the African goose. But it's safe to assume that Paper Heron's Udimo is the former. Apparently, the Chinese geese are considered to be the most graceful and beautiful members of the goose family, sometimes referred to as the swan geese. Is that why Paper Heron looks so beautiful even after getting beaten up? Because damn, she's still looking good. What skincare routine do you think she does?